Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the Manga Panel Podcast. I am your host, Bo Talks Media. Today, I'm joined by Key.
What's up?
Aiden.
Hello, hello.
And Trent.
What up?
So before we get into the rankings, I think we started this last week. Do you guys just want to go over top favorite chapter of the week, just real quick, and then we'll go into the rankings? Key, do you want to start us off?
I know I said this last week, but Earthchild once again takes my favorite chapter this week. Easy.
Yeah, Aiden.
Why?
This was a tough one. I've been thinking about this ever since I read the magazine. I think I'm gonna go with it just because it was so crazy, so visually crazy. It was Elusive Samurai. It was nuts this week.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just such a tense chapter. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. What about you, Trent?
Might be a little basic, but I really enjoyed Jujutsu Kaisen's fight. I mean, it's more fighting, but I did enjoy it.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm interested to
Also,
get into that one.
I used to be a chemical engineer, and they actually brought up something that I learned when I was in school. So I was like, no way, I didn't understand something because of that.
And I would say my favorite chapter of the week. Honestly, hot take. I thought last week was so good.
Yeah.
This week feels like a big drop down, and for almost every series because last week was so incredible.
Yeah.
My favorite's probably My Hero or Earthchild, which is funny because they're literally at two opposite sides of the magazine.
It's crazy. Well, like last week's magazine was probably one of the best we've seen. God,
it
in
was
like
so good.
forever.
Dude, everything was good.
It was, like literally everything had an amazing chapter. This week, I don't think anything had a necessarily bad chapter, but also you have way less of a roster, and and it's just
no
like,
One Piece.
and it wasn't as big. I think a lot of things are kind of like a little bit in between. There was a lot of some that didn't have as good chapters last week had really great chapters this week. So
yeah, for sure.
it was good. It was still great.
Absolutely.
So you guys want to run down the rankings real quick before we actually dive into them? So
Yeah, let's jump into
Before
it.
that, we called it. We absolutely called it.
We got it.
Yeah, literally right after we posted the podcast last week, the Mashelle anime got leaked and then properly announced, and then we were just like, yeah, dude, we literally called it perfectly.
Like perfect. We just went on this whole tangent. Mashelle's got to get an anime. It'd be perfect anime, and immediately our prayers were answered. Mashelle's got an anime.
I swear, as soon as I started reading it, got announced. I don't know, something about that.
Perfect.
It's a good feeling, dude. It's a really good feeling. That was me with the Robocco manga not that long ago.
All right, I want to read Sakamoto Days next. That's going to be next, guys.
Ooh, you gotta, because that's the next one coming too. I swear.
No, that's gotta be next.
Yeah.
Starting with the rankings, just running through them real quick. At the bottom, and we'll go into more detail about why we think they're ranking so low. Dororon at the very bottom this week.
Yeah.
It had kind of saved itself last week. The 19 Earthchild, 18 High School Family Kokosei, 17 Mission Yozakura Family, 16 PPPPP, 15 Undead, respect, saving stuff a little bit. 14 Mashelle, then we have some one shots. 11 Elusive Samurai, Witch Watch, Super Smartphone, Akane Banashi staying right there in the middle, our upper echelon there. Aliens Area, Ruri Dragon, me and Robocco, Blue Box, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, and #1 Sakamoto Days. No One Piece this week, but Key, do you want to start us off? Oh yeah, for many weeks.
Yeah.
Key, do you want to start us off with Doron?
To be honest with you, with Doron, I don't have a ton to say.
That's me with every chapter this week, basically. This might be a short podcast. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. I was thinking it's going to be a short
much shorter, yeah.
It is going to be a shorter episode, but I think that makes it easier for anyone that's editing this episode. But no, when it comes to Doron, right? Not a lot to say here. I feel like it's kind of still like a wrap up of the last arc that we got. It was sort of like an info dump chapter. Like, these are all the new characters.
So many new characters. Yeah.
We got to hear from a character that we hadn't seen God knows how long.
We kind of heard from her, I guess. We got an update. Her name was mentioned.
Her name was mentioned, and it was so boring that the dude actually fell asleep mid-sentence about this character, the first female character.
No. We're talking about Genshio and or Genshio, whatever the hell her name is. And it's so funny because I think it's literally 2 pages before that they introduced another new female character. They knew what they were doing.
They knew.
100%.
That was definitely the highlight of the week, though. Just the guy sleeping. He was like, "Did he just fall asleep? That was what's going on here?" Yeah, like he said, it was pretty much just a kind of setting up future stuff with these new characters and more wrapping up of last. I mean, it's cool seeing more of the Izanagi Corp, but
that was literally about it. Like, just kind of like talking a little bit more of what might happen, and then just introducing the character. Which, albeit when you're introducing that many characters, I would be really, really worried. Like, oh, this is gonna be so stupid. Like, I'm not gonna care. It was funny. I liked how they did it. It was well paced. Like they
Yeah, when they introduce the girl, she says Dora-chan and just leaves immediately.
Yeah,
and then Narutora is just like, oh, what? Wait, you can call him that? Yeah. So in terms of like comparing this to like last week's Aliens area chapter where they introduced 3 characters, I know me and Key weren't super positive on that.
Yeah.
This chapter I think did a pretty good job of just introducing a lot of characters at once.
Yeah, I think when we get like almost like 6 or 7 at least brand new characters and a whole backstory on our villain, and it didn't feel like a whole lot. It was well paced in 20 pages. I was actually impressed. But we are
Trent,
seeing it at the back right now. So.
It is. Yeah. Well, before we get to that, Trent, did you have any thoughts on Doron?
Oh,
Doron.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest highlight for me was, I mean, after like seeing all the new captains were cool, but just kind of seeing Kusanagi's thoughts on, or at the very end, we had the conversation between Doron and Kusanagi about how they feel about maybe having to be separated after this mission. So
It's just gonna be sad.
It is. I like that conversation in of itself already made me very sad. I do not want to see that come to.
No, because like Kusanagi's just like, yeah, we can deal with it. It's good. It's fine. It's for the future of the society. We got to do it.
It's for the better of the world.
And they're like both like tearing up, and I was like,
dude, I already know if like that moment when they have to decide what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be like, oh no, not Kusanagi, the best character.
Really, Kusanagi is the thing that's keeping that whole thing afloat.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%.
oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think that now it is kind of heading towards the end game a little bit. We all kind of saw it coming, but I don't think any new series has been announced or anything. Or
no, we've got some time before a new series.
It's kind of. This is what we were saying last week. The way this arc is being set up, they could easily extend it if it doesn't get canceled. But with it sitting at the back of the magazine once again, I think last week it was like upper. It was a little bit better. It was like 15, right?
Yeah, it went up for a bit.
So, but now it's plummeted back down, which is surprising to me because I think it's been only going up really overall. But
we might just see it waver in the rankings for the next few weeks. I think we could. I think it got more like way better recently, so we could see it just go up and down a little bit. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, moving on to go ahead.
I was just gonna say with how the rankings are, we might not even see, because it has been getting better, but we might not even see that in the rankings for another couple weeks. We never know.
True. Yeah, this could be still based on like the elephant nose dude. So which was not great. So there you go. All right. Well, I know I started with Yuki on Doron, but you said this is your favorite chapter, so you want to start us off with Earthchild?
Yeah.
Huh?
Key.
Earthchild.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was like, you guys approached me for Doron.
No, I realized, but you said Earthchild was your favorite, so I was like, this makes sense for you to kind of helm.
I feel like with Earthchild this week, it kind of ended in a way that I didn't really expect. I don't think anyone really expected. It was weird, dude. Like, straight up, this whole time, the whole struggle to get the mom character back to Earth, save her, and all that. We thought they were all gonna come back home to happy family, in typical shonen, everyone happy ending, good vibes all around, right? No,
dude.
Earthchild's nuts, man. Every chapter completely defies my expectations, especially the past couple 5 or 6 now. What's been going on? It's crazy.
Right now, where it is, we're not going to see it show up in the rankings for a while, because when this chapter's effect comes into play, several weeks from now. But seriously, this chapter is just so mind blowing. The art, again.
Dude, there's multiple pages that are crazy.
The whole chapter was peak art.
Yeah. I have to talk about one particular page, the very last one, where she's just holding him and looking at the stars. That page reflects the end of chapter 1. I don't know if you guys realize that. Yeah. Where he's looking up at the stars, holding the kid, just Dude,
Earthchild is one of the few things that currently pulls so much emotion out of me every time I read it. I'm which is crazy because this has only got 19 chapters. I do not have that much attachment to it, but man, it knows how to punch me in the gut for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Trent, what'd you think of it?
I don't know what to say other than what you guys already said. The art, fantastic. It, and like Aiden said, it really tugs at your heartstrings. You never know where it's gonna come from. Also, something else I noticed was she was saying she didn't want to miss Mamoru's first words, but they both missed them when he said "Papa."
Oh yeah,
so they already missed that.
Yeah.
So rip. But
I mean, I'm just curious. Where do you guys think it's gonna go now? We keep speculating how this is gonna end. I mean, it's probably gonna end, but like I wasn't expecting this.
Dude, like,
the dude's dead.
Well, like God, for all we know, she could end up like it's gonna be like this whole Romeo and Juliet thing. She'll give her life for him.
Yeah, exactly. Except for she's gonna die. Dude, it's just infinite.
All right. I thought the dad character is great, right?
Yeah.
The mom character was why I was reading in the first place. So it's just like conflicting interests here a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean like I Kariri and Reisuke are both great. So I was hoping we could see them more together. They have a great relationship, but that does not.
I think Reisuke's gonna die, and then Albert's gonna marry Kariri.
That's fucked up.
Could you imagine? Like that'd be fucking insane.
You know how series would get instant canceled.
They would turn that in. The editorial improvement department would approve it, and then they'd immediately axe it. Like they would be like, "Okay, yep,
yeah, okay, you can do that."
That's something you do like on a
how to
project
get your
because
series
your
canceled.
series got axed.
Yeah.
But man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Earthchild was great.
Yeah, enough about the
sure.
boring chapters this week. Let's talk about High School Family Kokosei.
Key, what's your opinion on this chapter?
Yeah, what's your opinion? You want to start us off here?
Again, guys?
No, you're just starting it off every time.
All right, great. No, this is mostly Aiden's series. Like, I don't want to step on his toes, but I did get caught up with it this past week. High School Family Kokosei is great. It's got some really, really funny moments. This chapter in particular, I thought was really cool. It's revolving again around the little sister, which is my least favorite character currently. But I thought it was still solid. You know, we got to get some more shogi action going on. Lots of fun.
I thought it was funny as. You have a 9-year-old who's gambling over 3 million yen. That was awesome. Like,
no, that was great. The highlight for me was the dad in that chapter.
Oh,
like, the dad said.
No, like the final part was he's just an awkward dude. Like
so awkward dude betting money.
Yeah, no, it was good. I like that. That was a way better high than last week's chapter. Screwing up the cat art.
Fumbled
the bag.
Fumbled
on that
it.
One. Yeah.
Cat's out of the bag.
Oh, that's like there's not really much to be said about High School Family.
I mean, yeah, there isn't because
it's
they came to a house.
Funny gag manga. Haha.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, right?
Why are we gonna move on?
It made me giggle. Yeah. Let's talk about Yozakura.
Oh man, I was just gonna say one last thing
about
that. It's not like Robocco in the sense that Robocco is like episodic, like it's a new thing every single day. High School Family Kokosei has overarching plots in between chapters and stuff for each character, so that's why it's a little bit hard to follow sometimes. But I did just binge it all, so.
I don't think it ever gets too complicated, but I like that they will introduce something and they'll come back to it a little later, and it's done well. Like it's not super complicated, but I do like it. I do quite like how they do High School Family Kokosei.
Yeah.
17 Mission Yozakura Family.
Yeah, let's talk about
Peak Yozakura.
I know Aiden's fuming. It introduced new characters. He's like, this series already has too many damn characters. Why are you introducing more?
I don't know if I can handle another Aiden Randall in the series last week.
That was it. I blew all my steam on last week's episode, and I was like, that's it. Yozakura, I'm good. Trent, dive in. Let's talk about this chapter.
Introduced more gold rank spies, which we haven't really gone over that, but there's bronze, silver, and gold rank spies in Mission Yozakura Family. They don't really focus on it that much, but it's cool to see more strong people, like stronger people.
Dude, I hate one of the new people that was introduced, but I love the other one. Can you guess which one is which?
Do you like the robot girl and hate the?
Yes, I love the robot girl. She's great, dude.
Robot girl is awesome. I actually like them both. I thought they were funny.
Yeah, I thought the big when the big muscular dude reached around and grabbed Shinzo's like pecs. It was fucking
feeling them out.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything nuts, like especially compared to the last 2 weeks.
Right.
Just more exposition, just kind of
setting up for the future.
Buffer chapter. But it does make me think, like, damn, this could be ending like quite soon, like quite soon.
I hope not. Peak Yozakura.
I hope not.
I think like 1 or 2 more major arcs, and that could be it. I could totally see it, just the way like. They're kind of
also with Momo. Momo feels like he kind of ties up the family.
He's the final villain.
Yeah. I just couldn't see anything being above him. It's just too crazy. Like, you're pushing a lot of characters out of their comfort zone already, and I think it'd be weird to continue doing that in further arcs. Especially like you've already have them breaking a lot of their tropes, which is like what the fuck. That's crazy. Especially for Yozakura family, which is very like characters characters stick to their guns a lot.
Yeah. Kyochiro's moment at the end was really cool, where he's like,
"Can we talk about how
this whole association? We don't need you."
They have evil YouTube, DarkTube, right? This guy had like 1 trillion dislikes.
Holy shit!
Yeah, sorry, Bo. You're the only one that's not caught up with it, right?
I probably won't be for a while, so no worries.
Yeah, it's not worth your time.
I can assure you, no.
You shut your mouth. Yozakura is peak.
Hey, listen. I was gonna lay it out. I just caught up on Mashelle, which we'll talk about. I'm gonna do Sakamoto, then maybe JJK, maybe PPP. After that, I'm slowing down. So.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Speaking of PPP. We got a few in there. Yeah. It's crazy that they all have the same birthday. That's nuts. This chapter was called Happy Birthday. We made that joke last episode, so we're bringing it back because they're still talking about their birthday. Which I think there was even less mention of their birthday in this chapter than the last one, but you know what? That's fine. They didn't. It wasn't super crazy. Definitely still like a between
more
arcs, more setup. But Lucky had a fucking awesome moment. Like, he's a really cool, like super underrated main character in Jump right now. I really like his presence. He's sick.
I don't know. Keep going with what you were saying, but
yeah, no.
I don't know about Lucky. I don't know about him yet, man.
Interesting.
He's super. How do I say? Feels like a mentally tortured artist or something.
That's what makes him awesome.
He's like, today I felt like I finally became human. Like, dude.
That was a super deep line.
What?
It was like crazy edgy, which is weird because it's very out of character for him too. Where he's like he's happy-go-lucky. It's literally like in his name.
No. In this chapter though, he just kind of like took a whole dark turn, fucking collapsed, and caught me crying in aisle 9.
Yeah,
kind of.
Like
he's crying in the supermarket.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see them play. I keep forgetting that they have what's his name? I can't remember what the guy's name is. The guy who was shopping with him. Yeah. No. Yeah, they have. He's
I don't remember his name either.
I can't remember his name.
We're really bad with names. Seriously, guys. If you guys want, I will set up like a little special episode where we just guess the names of characters.
We are so bad with names.
That'd be funny. You go through all like the Jump series and be like, guess this character's name. That'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna set it up. I'll set it up if you guys want to do that episode. Like a special.
I'm down.
All right,
we'll do
I'll
that.
set it up.
It's 100% a great idea. But yeah, no, solid chapter. I mean, I don't know.
I'm excited to see more from that Rin character that was introduced at the end.
Yeah.
His design was cool.
Oh yeah, dude, his eyes are crazy.
That was like the first thing I noticed. Like PPP's got some really interesting art. Like my eyes immediately went to his eyes. Like that was the first thing that got me. Made him stand out a lot.
Their eyes met and they knew it was love. But no, I'm interested to see who that is too, because it's not one of the siblings, right? It's just a completely new character.
It's someone that was on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he hasn't shown his face before. Like no one knows what
Was
he
a
looks
face,
like.
a face YouTuber
Apparently,
face
Yeah.
except for Fanta. Apparently, like he's
Oh, yeah.
over here just like I'm named after
Jay chilling
soda.
with him.
I know this guy.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah, but PPP is pretty good as always. Undead Unluck.
A lot to talk about here, right?
Yeah, lots.
Well,
Not
didn't
really.
didn't like actually though like kind of get confirmed that it's like
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
yeah like,
He's the only one
Yeah.
caught up on this, but from the sounds of things, it's in its final fight, right? Or it's gonna be, or something.
It is approaching its final fight, and like it said in the magazine.
Now,
that's
what does
probably
that
also-
mean in the context of Undead Unluck? Because like people say like final fight, and that could be like 30 chapters. Is that like 5 chapters, or is that like
No, I don't think it's 5 chapters because right
Okay.
now, it's still wrapping up that final fight, except for it's not. We got like a surprise little twist again. So the character that the main character Andy was fighting in this chapter died, but that's what the other character that was also present in the room wanted to happen. And if you know what Undead Unluck is about, it's about this world with rules and negators, right? Rules are things that can be anything, right? It could be something as stupid as sickness or something as bizarre and crazy as light, right? Just if you kill the physical representation of that thing, then it ceases to exist in the world. But that being said, in this chapter, we got the rule for ghost introduced, right? Not this chapter, it was introduced a while ago. But basically, what happened was he killed this guy that we were fighting the past few chapters, and then Ghost possessed him. So now he's like phase 2 of the fight. It's still going, and this is not even the final fight of the series at all.
Okay.
Because the whole goal of it is to fight God, which is a bizarre way to aim for the ending of this manga. Right?
JRPG.
Basically, yeah. Fight God or become him. Exactly. So Undead Luck is still, I'd say it needs at least like 30 chapters more to wrap it up.
It did pick itself up a little bit. It was at the bottom last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Bottom
very, very
3 the
bottom.
last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's picked itself up a little bit. That's good to see. But
I think we'll see it get back up there once these chapters are like the
Start
effect of
rolling
these
in.
chapters start rolling in, because these past chapters have been pretty good, pretty solid in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have anything else to say about Undead Unluck. I just look forward to seeing how it ends, because the series has been pretty good, but not as good as the next one we're going to be talking about,
Mashelle.
which is Mashelle.
Oh man.
yes. So I think since last episode, me and Trent both caught up on this, right, Trent?
Or I was caught up. Was I caught up last episode?
I don't think you were.
No.
I don't
you
think you
said,
were, no.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
Oh,
You
were
yeah, 'cause
close,
I was
though.
close.
All right.
Mm.
Hot take time. So when we recorded last episode, I think I was at like chapter 65 or 70 or something like that. I just finished the whatever arc that was, provisionary exam, whatever. And I was really enjoying it. And then there was just like a 20 chapter dead point where it was so fucking boring.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it hasn't really changed its tone in the past like 10 to 15 chapters, but it has gotten more exciting just with the circumstances.
Yeah.
I caught up this morning. But man, that like 20 chapter period was so boring. Why'd they turn it into a battle manga? I don't understand. Obviously it was,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, because there are points I don't even know the characters' names. Well, sorry, Key. But like the
Why you
enemies,
call this-
you're the one always bringing up the names. No,
More
but
things for you to put on that quiz or
yeah, exactly.
True.
Yeah, try to get me to name Mashelle characters. It's not going to go well.
No.
But like literally anytime Mash is fighting someone, or I guess as anybody's fighting someone, the villain always jokes like, "Oh, you're trying to make a joke right now." Yes, that's the point of the series.
Oh, always.
I hate why that's happened like 3 times. They're like, "Oh, you're trying to be funny right now." Yes, I
Always.
want you to be funny. So there was a very like I was like slogging through those chapters all week. But then I finally got caught up, and like the past 10 have been really good. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious to see what you thought, Trent, of that. Like,
yeah.
you know, I'm
this
talking about
current-
that down period.
I do know. I even went and ranted about it, like because it was like midnight and I was super tired and I was just trying to get like a couple more chapters in before the end of the day, and I was just like, man, it was difficult. So current arc that we're in, I'm actually super excited for.
Oh yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
there was a fight. I feel like this is probably what you're talking about.
Magnet guy.
Yes. Holy fuck.
And then the fight after
sucked
that.
balls.
Dude, it went on for so long. It went on for so long.
They fought him, and then he trapped Mash, and then they fought other people, which were like okay fights, but they're kind of boring. And then they went back to fighting him, and then the fight, and then he had like 4 more transformations, and then he was
dude.
defeated.
What
It
do
was
you guys think of the brother
man.
complex guy versus the guy with the mother complex?
That was
The like
funny.
little sister complex.
Yeah, okay,
versus
that was
mother
pretty cool.
complex.
Yeah.
guy?
I mean,
And
that
it didn't
was
overstay its
hilarious.
welcome. Yeah.
The problem with that fight though, it was sandwiched in between the Magna dudes fight.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, man,
Yeah, I get it. Nobody likes the Magnet Dude fight. I thought it was kind of average as well. But,
Yeah, it's probably like Mash's like literally lowest point, which is crazy.
I mean, that's the thing. Everything else is super high.
Yeah.
For me.
'Cause-
But
'cause
that
the-
one low point was like the lowest low I've been in a while.
Which is great that it just immediately like into an amazing fight. Like at least like the low is immediately rewarded with a great fight.
Yeah, the
Which
fight
is-
after is like one of the best fights in like,
hands down.
like in the series or like the magazine has had in a while.
what
Yeah,
was your
I don't
favorite
know.
fight so far? Then, like overall in the series, from each of you guys?
The Domina or Dormina.
Yeah, the one, whichever one was after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Domino,
It's a
One of the
great
brother.
fight. It's
yeah, the brother.
Yeah.
For sure. Because like that's the thing. I don't really view Mashelle as a fighting series or a
You're
battle.
talking about
show.
the just so I
The-
can't remember names very well.
Poseidon.
Either. He's the
the
Poseidon
water.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I don't know. Like I said, the current stuff is exciting, and like we are heading towards a conclusion. It seems. So I get why it's more serious, but like, I did prefer the obvious comedy nature that they were
Yeah.
trending towards for the first 70 chapters.
Yeah, and the thing with that, though, I think your concerns will like kind of come to, like, they'll end soon because Mashelle, like Mash himself, you know, he's
Sure,
still
he's
kind
gonna
of
come back.
unconscious.
Yeah, he's been
He's-
out for like a little bit. Yeah.
He's the only one that like brings all that gag nonsense most of the
He
time. I mean, his
carries
friends
on
the
too,
gag.
kind of, but he really is the one that brings the comedy because he's
Yeah.
ridiculous, dude. He's a super powered,
Yeah, I mean,
strong guy. Like,
yeah, I mean, in his absence, they've had the little kid with like the dinosaur outfit or whatever the
Yeah.
hell it is.
True.
He's
Um,
okay. My
Yeah,
favorite
I like
bit in
him.
recent
I like him.
chapters was the one where it's immediately when the war arc started, and the dude's just being a little coward running around trying to hide from the
I'm gonna
monster.
kill
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
With that said, though, I guess we should talk about the actual current chapter. Pretty good. I mean, last week's was awesome, also with all the divine visionaries getting fucked.
Yeah.
Was that last week?
fucking-
Because I have binged it this morning. I think it was last week, right?
Yeah, it was last week.
And then this chapter,
I fucking
almost-
laughed. I'm not gonna lie.
we're at.
The guy's like, I give you the power to take pride in yourself.
And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and
shit,
then
what the-
everyone
Immediately got shit on.
dies like so,
Dude, obliterated, dude.
which is crazy. Like, and everyone's like they
They're like,
lost
oh, shit.
like
Yeah.
like
We're all gonna die, basically. So
Mashelle's
good.
kind of got me worried because I feel like they're getting rid of a lot of the more powerful characters, and like I feel like it's supposed to be that Mash and his friend group is replacing them almost, not replacing them, but is taking their spot
yeah.
in this like war arc. But I don't really feel like his friends or even like Mash could do it maybe, but I feel like his friends haven't got enough development where they're believably as strong as a divine visionary.
That this arc, I mean, like, is their training arc. They are being trained
Yeah.
under like the divine visionary.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah.
like we will see enough, like, cause like even just through the course of the series, I was like, I always thought the same. It's just Mash solos and his friends are there, but then I'm like, oh, these guys are actually getting like quite a bit stronger. Like, it just doesn't feel like that because Mash.
The gravity dude
Mash
feels
is
the
so-
strongest.
Oh, for sure.
So, like, I'm like, if he was super strong, I'd believe that. But as for the like explosions people or the explosion guy, I mean, I guess he's the only other one that even fights.
Yeah.
The other two don't really fight at all.
What's his name?
Todd,
And
I think.
Yeah, Finn.
Yeah.
He's like, I feel like he'll just do something. Like he'll be
Yeah.
there. He'll do something. Like
he's having his own training arc or whatever.
exactly, yeah.
But,
So well,
but
I
it's
think we'll
clearly
see the
not.
effect.
It's not combat orientated
No.
training. But
Mhm.
what's his magic anyways? I forget.
I
They
can't
mentioned it, and I can't remember.
Which character?
Finn, the guy with the yellow part. He's got yellow hair, and then he's the younger brother
Oh.
of the most goated character in
Yeah.
the series.
Right. I'm guessing like he was saying something about how there's like healing magic going on. Like he's gonna be a support character.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be out there like casting buffs and everybody basically. like in Final Fantasy 14, Trent. You know,
And that put it in terms for Trent.
like
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, I do play Astrologian. Let's go.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other thoughts on Mashelle this week?
I think that's good. I'm excited for the anime. That's about it. I cannot wait to see this animated.
Oh,
It'll
yeah,
be
the anime.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
gonna break the
fucking
internet, dude.
insane. It'll be insane.
Absolutely.
Elusive Samurai. I'm excited to talk about this one. This one was actually
Boy who's good is running away. Let's go.
crazy. What a crazy chapter. Like, there was a lot going on. Like I like when I like keep trying to think about it, I was like that was 20 pages. Like that all happened in 20 pages.
A lot happened.
Like
yeah.
a lot happened. There's like some cool little fights going on and continuing the fight of Yoshige's
Torishige son.
his son.
Torishige, is that his name?
I think
They have,
funny
they have similar
it's-
names.
yeah.
It's funny that we
Yeah.
can't remember because like they literally talked about him.
Yeah, and
them
then-
not
yeah,
projecting
last week.
themselves.
That's for
Yeah.
every character today,
Yeah.
dude. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a cool fight, like on the side, and then they introduced their friggin' war machine, which is fucked. They've got crossbows in it.
Oh, they got bow guns.
They're using bow guns. They're using
slaves.
slaves to like
Cowards.
reload it, and then
And
as
to
they
cover the whole like.
well, yeah, then they go. They're like, okay, yeah, it's made out of wood. We'll
Light
just
up and
burn
shit.
it, and then they just cover it in slaves, which is fucking insane. And then the guy who's running it, his like the art towards the end, like he just like his face starts twisting and he gets like super corrupted. I was like, that's fuck. This was so crazy. What an insane chapter. Like I was blown away. I was like, okay. I thought it was gonna be like a really mediocre chapter. Like we've come off some really good ones. There can't be that crazy of a one coming up. And I was like, whoa,
right.
this one's awesome. I love
That
this
final
one.
panel
Yeah.
where like he's like corrupted and he has like his rib cage around the war machine or whatever. Dude, that
Yeah.
panel looks
So
awesome.
nuts. Like I think it was
I want that in
hands down.
print, dude.
Like hands down. Oh, first volume comes out like in English like next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, I have it
That's
pre-ordered
awesome.
and everything.
I cannot
So
wait.
they show up and like summertime rendering. So I'm really pissed if it does. But when it comes to that, the whole like skeleton thing around the fortress and stuff, do you guys think that is actually happening, or do you think it's like representation?
Probably
Oh, just
how-
representation.
Definitely just
Yeah.
metaphorical.
It's-
Especially
Yeah,
going
Yeah,
back.
they do
to-
this other times.
Yeah,
It's because like sometimes it's not the case, right? Because there's the guy, the main final villain that we're leading up towards. He actually has like something going on with his eyes. How there's like multiple eyes inside of his eye or something like that.
yeah.
And I feel like that's real. So are we gonna dip into the supernatural? You think, or you think that's also just like?
I think that
I think
that
the
would
series
be
is too historical.
yeah.
I think it'd
that'd
be cool, but
The
I
series prides itself on like being historically accurate at
Yeah,
some level, I think. So I don't think.
I think that'd be
it'd be
too
cool if they
unre-
did.
that'd be. I think that'd just be too unreachable for our main cast at the time.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
Maybe
I-
right now, yeah, but it's just I don't know. I really don't know.
I
Maybe
could
sometimes-
definitely see the final fight being more supernatural based, but for now, like, there's no way they'd get out of this fight if this is. Like,
Yeah.
He's just
That-
actually a fucking
that
demon.
It's like he literally turns into like a fucking Titan from Attack on Titan. They're like,
Yeah, literally.
they're done.
Yeah, bro, Aaron Yeager. But yeah. Oh, really solid. Trent, you got anything you?
no, I think we're good to move on to Witch Watch, which they keep on rolling with making me laugh.
Dude.
They-
Oh, sorry.
they've been pretty
So-
successful.
Before Bo, you got anything to say for Elusive Samurai? I feel like we kind of just like
Oh no, I agree with everything
Okay,
you guys
okay,
were saying.
cool.
It was a pretty good chapter.
just
Yeah.
making sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Witch Watch. Let's dive into this one because that was a funny ass chapter. That was like actually like
Yeah, seeing the dad in the golf club was pretty funny.
it was I literally I open the chapter and I see it's the teacher and the student and
Oh,
I
I
go
rolled my eyes. I
I was
like
like-
audibly.
Dude,
rolled
I
my
did.
eyes.
I was like,
Oh,
it's gonna be fucking so dialogue heavy, and I get into it. I'm like, oh, this is actually interesting. Like they're talking about making their fan
Still
dojo.
dialogue heavy though.
And I was like, okay. And then the fucking cat gets into offline meetup. The first like they're getting catfish, which was fucking hilarious.
Bro, that's how I do when you're meeting all my friends for the first time. You know how scared I was to meet Cisco and everyone for the first time? It's like I've been talking to these guys forever, but then yeah. Also Aiden. Like meeting Aiden for the first time is crazy.
Yeah,
so I relate to this chapter.
Yeah,
I-
Aiden
I-
is
I-
really creepy.
Yeah, I would be scared meeting myself. I am scared meeting myself in person. I would
Dude, he's taller than me. You know how scary that is to know someone who's younger than you but taller than you? Fucking frightening.
It is frightening. I walk past the mirror and I jump every time. I'm like, yeah, no, really, really great chapter. I thought it was funny as hell. Also, just like kind of like also, it was funny and also propelled these characters' stories well. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Like it was just like,
It made me like these characters more.
oh, I like a lot more. Like he's,
Yeah.
like I feel like he's like almost like. He's like almost going back, like doubling back and like fixing any issue that he kind of almost created him for himself earlier, like making everything better. Like he's really refining the edges.
He made the student council president better.
Yeah.
He went back and like I feel like Kaigo's like come around. I feel like he was really annoying before, but he's not as annoying.
They've got like I feel like I'm really like before I was like there's characters in the cast that I could like go another day and never care about, but now they're like going back and I'm like I love the cast except for
I think there's a gripe that I had with it along like a while back that I think I've told you before where I felt like every character's gag was that they were annoying and like that annoyed the fuck out of me. So I do like that they kind of dialed back on that and they kind of added more personality to the characters.
Oh, for sure. No, they've done a really great job with it. Yeah, I mean, other than that, not too much to say. It was a really funny bit. Which Watch is definitely worth reading, and I could only as the chapters go by these days, I can only recommend it more. Definitely worth it. Yeah, let's Super Smartphone. This was an interesting chapter.
Awesome more follow up after last chapter after the confrontation. Trent, you've been saying this pretty much every week, saying like you hope that Kyo doesn't end up being just a total smartass and knowing everything. I love the panel. He's just like, I lose. That was really good.
Yeah.
It's been really good. Super Smartphone again and again just cements itself as something that I could see being in the magazine for as long as it wants to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I really like the characters he built up. Q is super enjoyable. I really like him because like I'm reading it and he's getting frustrated and I'm getting frustrated. Like I'm reading and I'm getting like secondhand frustration, which is awesome. Yeah. I get like really into it when I read it. I think it can be a little dialogue heavy, but it also is very thought provoking, and which I just love. Which needs for a series like this. Absolutely needs it, and it is doing very well with it. I'm super interested. I can't wait for every chapter.
Yeah, for sure. Trent, you read Dr. Stone, right?
Yeah, I was literally gonna say
literally a panel that was ripped straight out of Dr. Stone, where it's like his plan. He's like laying out. Yeah, dude, I love that. I saw that. I was like, wait, this is Dr. Stone.
Like if you don't know, like at the start of every arc of Dr. Stone, he says, "All right, we're going to build this thing." And in order to build that, we have to build these other things first.
Oh, you guys are talking about the one where he has like the roadmap plan and everything.
The flow chart.
I thought the exact same thing. Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that.
Literally a Dr. Stone panel.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
Also, in this panel in particular, I'm not gonna. You guys already probably can tell. It's not gonna zoom in. It's not gonna focus. This panel where he's sitting at his desk. It made his hand look fucking huge.
Hold up. Here, I'll post this in chat for you guys. Oh, fuck.
His hand's massive, dude. He's got big...
Bro, what happened? Why is his desk here so small? Or yeah, even I know that like the smartphone's small, but...
Sorry, that's like the perspective or something, but like... Also
someone wrong here.
Like, tiny, but like... yeah, Super Smartphone's coming along solidly. It's interesting that the villain has kind of turned it all around, even though we thought that Q had like swapped things on his side, right? Like where he has the advantage, but now it's like the opposite. He has to convince the police officer that this guy is an issue, but he's also going to be meeting her in person, and he is also simultaneously tracking down Q as well, sending other Super Smartphone users after him. Insane. I hope that means that we're going to be getting like some real mind games going on. At the end of the chapter, the guy looked like he might have been a student also. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But
the big guy?
Yeah, the big... I don't know. But to me, he looked that way. Just a really big guy. It's also
he's definitely young at least.
Oh, for sure.
for sure. But he also seems like kind of a moron. So it's like,
exactly. He's a total moron.
First fight.
Yeah, I think Aiden, you mentioned this last week. You kind of said maybe that Zenichiro would be kind of like an introductory villain that would be kind of dealt with pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was the week before. Nah.
No,
Zenichiro was the villain. Like we're
like,
setting this for like a while, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
especially because he has at least 2 other like little cronies he's using with super smartphones. So this is our main villain for a while. Yeah, if not the entire series. Like
I would be a little surprised for the entire series just because he seems a little too cocky to be.
Yeah. Like, true. He's not like, chill at all.
Yeah. No. So I think that'll be like.
His confidence will be.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be super long term, but I definitely could see him for the next couple dozen chapters or so. Without a doubt. Yeah. No, it's been really I'm impressed. I was worried with a series like this. It is carrying its weight with no problems at all.
Super consistent rankings too. I mean, it's only 8 chapters in. But
I think actually, if I am wrong, I think it's actually its first chapter in like proper rankings.
Yeah, because it's usually like a 5 to 7 weeks or something like that. I think that's what we. So it's still ranking on like its first couple chapters. Couple chapters were pretty solid. So,
oh yeah, no, this is. Or no, I think next week.
Yeah, I think it's
okay.
Next week is when it's properly.
Okay.
I could
cool.
Be wrong,
super
but still doing good for you. New series on the up and coming.
Absolutely.
Keep doing your thing.
Akane Banashi. Trent.
Best character came back. We got to see Akane's mom again. Let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, if only we got to see her dad.
Is this? Yeah. I'm waiting for that. Is this the 3rd week in a row with a fucking color page?
I think it is.
I swear to God, they just keep giving it color pages.
Hold on. Judge can actually. It is.
We have.
It's not the 3rd week in a row, but the last 2. The last one had it, and then the week before that didn't have one, and then the week after it did.
Okay. So 3 within the past 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. Doing super well. I mean, do you guys have any specific thoughts on this chapter?
I mean, again, it was kind of like I feel like we're just like what I'm really waiting for is to see Akane perform in front of him. But also just seeing his reaction to the other students' performance was quite interesting. I think not obviously just immediately not expecting that tone. Which then obviously they talked a little
nicer bit instead of so harsh.
They did talk about him putting on an act, like his persona and like an act for people, which is interesting. So I think we might see him break that act with Akane, but we'll see. I'm very very.
That's what talking about Isho, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The like head judge guy.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Do you think he's gonna like recognize her last name and be like, oh wait, this girl's gonna be bad or something like that, and then he's just gonna get blown away, or do you think he's gonna just still turn her down, and then series goes on as per usual?
Yeah,
it's hard to tell because he is putting on that act currently, so
we'll see if he breaks it. That's really the big question there. I don't know.
Yeah. Nope. Goodbye, Trent. He'll be back.
That's our daily losing Trent.
Yeah. I'm excited for next chapter. We're gonna see Karashi perform for the first time. He just seems like a weird dude, so I'm curious to see what he's gonna do.
I'm actually really interested in his performance. I feel like it's been quite a few chapters since we've gotten a full Rakugo performance, except for her initial Jugum, which I wonder if we'll get to see Jugum again when she does her variation.
For sure.
I think
he looks like
it would be weird if we didn't.
He looks like Shinji from Bleach. That's all I'm gonna say.
Karashi?
The guy that's about to perform like right now.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially the hair. The hair. If his hair was longer, for sure, and not.
Yeah,
black.
and also the smile. Smile. You know?
Yeah.
But that's a start. So there's no real comparison there, but still, Akane Banashi. It's still not even in my top 3 in the magazine right now, but I respect it because, a lot of people like it. I like it enough to, like, read it every week, and, it's a solid story.
It's super consistent.
It's
I've said that every week.
consistently
But,
enjoyable. Like I don't find it ever to be a slog. It's
right. Its characters are definitely its strongest too. I love that they're like making her teacher like a main character.
oh yeah.
I wasn't
which is-
expecting
Not
that,
at
but
all.
like she's been in like every chapter, which is awesome. I like her a lot. So
yeah, she's great.
um,
Great support system too. Like especially because we're not you don't see much of Akane's mother and you don't see any of her father. So it's great.
Yeah.
Great support.
Yeah.
There. Also, we got teased she starts talking. I feel like we'll get to see it probably in a chapter, or it'll come in a chapter soon, where she asked her mother the meaning behind her name, and it seemed she was like she was begging for the reason. We didn't get that answer, so I think that'll be integral
Probably
or something
Google it,
report.
but yeah,
But there might be a reason that it was picked rather than like what it actually means.
right. True. Trent, are you still with us, Trent?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'll get a webcam, so that's what's happening.
You're good.
are we gonna move on to Aliens Area, guys?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Anything anyone wants to say about Kane? No? Alright. Aliens Area.
How you feeling, Key? I know last week you were.
Yeah, you were pretty.
Are you still feeling that way? Are you still feeling that way?
No, I'm not feeling that way anymore, dude. What a
Okay.
chapter. Holy shit. It's kind of like what Aiden's been saying. When we start seeing the aliens, then that's when it's gonna start getting interesting. We actually got to see some like aliens this
With
time.
looking aliens.
Dude, he was just like crawling out of the person, just like old
That was a
tentacling
cool
shit.
video.
Like, dude, classic alien. All right, let's go. Then we got that weird looking one at the end. Just like, okay, a little bit less on this one, but still, I'm interested to see where it goes. Also the guy with the cane. Again, we're terrible at things, and that's why I definitely will set up that special episode. But
be
the guy
so
with the
bad.
cane, one of the main characters, is gonna be no, because it'll give you guys an excuse to study up on the characters' names and stuff. Because maybe I'll throw in a prize too. But
Let's go.
when it comes to that, right? When it comes to the main character, the other main character, the one with the cane, the one that looks, it reminds me of Senku a lot.
Yeah.
His whole like authority on like the whole premise, like how high do you guys think he ranks among like the
He's
the people?
He's the
I
head
don't
of
know,
a
the
team.
organization. You think
It's
he's
hard
the
to tell
head?
because we've seen so little of the organization, but he
Yeah.
is the head of a team, so he definitely has some sway.
But
But
like
he's not like a CEO kind of person where he can make executive
Right.
decisions.
he said that like he can't even like he doesn't even have the power to like truly just send him out on
Yeah.
missions. So they had to see him be there at a crime of the scene just to have.
I wanted to
have him
talk
fight.
about that. Is like he brought that up at the start of the chapter, and then he was like, "Oh, nice. This is like luckily you were coincidentally here."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
So it makes me feel like maybe he knew, like maybe he tried to do this to set him up.
Could be.
Like
It
it-
could be.
I don't know. I don't know. When I read it, it felt like there was some sort of undertone where he like almost knew that there's going to be more to this than meets the eye. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm just looking too far into it.
I mean, yeah, it's 4 chapters, so we don't really completely understand the tone of the story, so it's hard to take. It could just be
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a crime scene. There's a good chance that something more can happen here. So I don't know. That's a weird one. I do like I like the very like wide array of designs of aliens. Like we're gonna see so many different aliens, which I'm really excited for because we're seeing like this very cute alien to like the kind of like cube statue thing, to the one that pops out of the person. So we're like, I really like, wow, it's super impressed. That's one thing that I was like, I've been gunning for this series is really cool aliens, and it is delivering, which I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's definitely still got a long way to go until it's up there among like the other ones that we've been getting for years now. But Aliens Area, you're heading in the right direction. Just keep on going and show us what you got.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I pretty much echo all the same thoughts. Key, what you were saying about like where does this guy rank in the facility is interesting because like he says at some point like, hey, this could be a good case for me, like I could get a promotion or whatever, or something along those lines.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, because when he's introduced, they make it seem like he's top shit, but I guess he's not. Well, Trent, you said he's like the head of a team, but so
right.
I'll be curious because we haven't seen anybody above him yet. I'm curious to get that now,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, otherwise better than last chapter, I would say.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just see more aliens.
Oh, for sure.
That's all it takes. And like you said, Aiden, just the variety.
Absolutely.
good.
It's time for everyone's kawaii destiny dragon girl yada yada. Okay, someone else talk about this. I have nothing to say.
I mean, Ruri Dragon, like every week, I'm just like, this
Bam
is, like,
left.
super chill. Yeah, he really didn't.
Yeah.
He had so little to say. He was like, I'm done. He's like, no. Ruri Dragon, a girl who breathes fire. Fuck that. Anyways, yeah. Speaking of a girl who breathes fire, it's interesting. It's just sweet. Like it's an easy read. I have like it's just I flip the pages without any qualms. Like it's
The art's just so clean. I really like it.
Really pretty and nice art.
The backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I like the dialogue too. The dialogue's goofy. It's like fun to read. Like it's very wordy.
Yeah.
If you look through the chapter really quickly, you'll see, oh, that's a lot of words. But it never feels like it. It doesn't feel like a slog to read.
It doesn't feel like Witch Watch or something like that.
No, not or Yozakura.
Yozakura is a good one.
But like it's or HunterxHunter. Jesus Christ. Oh god. We'll talk. Remind me to talk about that before this episode's over. My god. But yeah, no, like I like it. It's really cute. It's such a nice breather from everything else because it's so different in tone and yeah, it's an easy read despite having a lot of words. And I do like Ruri. I do like a lot of the characters. I like everyone's tone. Also, we gotta get a bit of a more of an idea that like, okay, yeah, these kind of occurrences aren't that common because everyone has no clue that she was half dragon. That was like the furthest guess from that they had. But they were
Bioorganic weapon.
Yeah,
bioorganic teacher, right? The teacher said something about like how there's weird individuals out there.
Absolutely, but like it's like they're probably more like I would imagine they're probably almost on the scale of like something like mutants from like X-Men, where they're there but not super common at all, and so people aren't like insanely blown away, but it's definitely a spectacle every time.
Yeah,
it's not a political issue in this world.
Right.
Exactly.
Which it is in X-Men.
Yeah, exactly. That's the entire plot of X-Men.
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to what we were talking about like last week or like the week before or something. Ruri Dragon is going to be setting up for like other characters like her in the future. I just still really, really hope that they don't introduce any like too soon because it's going to take away from Ruri herself.
And I think it'll take away from Ruri and her friend. I think Ruri meeting other characters like that will be a huge part of like befriending them, and that'll like we're barely getting this new friend character. Give it some time for sure.
Absolutely. But on that note, do we have anything else we want to say? Because, like I said, I didn't have a ton to talk about with Ruri Dragon.
It's kind of like Akane for me. It's just like it's good. I enjoy it.
There's just not a whole lot to talk about to make discussion. Like it's just
and they're both still fairly new series too. So we have to wait to
I get time, but I'm enjoying it for what it is for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Next up,
Key. Tell us a little bit about
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Key and Robocco.
Key and Robocco.
This one got me kind of excited for a little bit, but then I realized it probably is just manga only. But in this chapter, straight up, Robocco starts up a fashion line.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the Uniqlo thing where sometimes they do collabs like anime and stuff. Where she tried making her own merch first, of just like a picture of her and Bondo on T-shirts or whatever that she hand drew, which is fucking hilarious. But then like they got real merch shown in the picture by the people that did designs for like that brand. And I think it's a real brand, but I don't think they're actually doing a collab because that if they did, that'd be fucking amazing. Because they took pictures from like iconic panels and put them on shirts, and they were freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god, this looks so clean. We're gonna." Deadass, they do say this is drippy and stuff like that. It's hilarious. It honestly, it's a good chapter. I liked it a lot more than the fucking pudding chapter with the rock paper scissors. So good on you, Robocco. And that has concluded the Key and Robocco segment. Thank you all very much. And let's go on to. Oh, sorry, I want to skip ahead. If anyone has the same thing to say about Robocco, jump in right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna skip over to Blue Box.
I actually did have something to say. Blue Box. About Blue Box, not me and Robocco.
About Blue Box.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything about Robocco? No?
No.
You knew the answer.
I think you're the only one caught up on that.
Yeah.
I am the only one cut up, but I mean, some of you guys are reading it, I think. And just want to know if you guys thought.
Well, this is where I'll stab my Hunter section in because I'll blue ball Trent, not blue box Trent, and make him wait to talk about it. So yeah, dude. So I've been reading Hunter, just a little update because it's interesting to talk about as it's probably like I had a nightmare like a couple nights ago that an actual nightmare that Hunter was put in the magazine. Like they just shadow dropped it in One Piece's absence. They were like, yeah, Hunter's in the magazine this week.
This is what this man has nightmares about.
And I'm like, I'm not caught up. Like, no, what?
My God.
Or I was like, okay. But I started Greed Island, which is the arc that follows Yorknu, which is really, really hard to follow because Yorknu is like probably hands down one of the best arcs in anime and manga. Greed Island is not. Like, it's just the most middle of the road arc ever. And man, when they go and explain the system that is in this arc, it's like, no fucking way am I. There was literally I shit you not, there was one chapter that had 5 pages of like just pure explanation, and I'm just like,
dude, you're getting to that point. I'm telling you, this is why nobody likes the later parts of Hunter.
This is all old stuff too. Like this isn't even the new stuff. This is old as balls for Hunter. And I'm like, oh god, because I know people say it only gets worse. And then there was another chapter, so it's all about like cards essentially. They go and literally list every spell card, and I'm like,
yeah,
and like what it does, its number, and I'm just like,
this is why I'm glad I watched the anime, did not read the manga.
I'm like, okay, like because I had read that or I'd watched the anime, and I was like, I don't. No, they don't do that, man. So I was just like, no, I'm cool. There's no reason I'll need to know all 40 of these cards.
40?
Yeah,
I think you're talking about like 5 or 6.
Just 2 chapters of just card information.
Yeah, no, I literally shit you not. It was literally just, it stopped being a manga for like 6 pages straight, and it was just lists of like the cards. Catalog. It was like, no, like actually, where it was card title, its description, and its rarity. And it was like 10 cards per page.
I might like that because it's kind of like Chainsaw Man, where it has a whole chapter dedicated to listing dead people.
Yeah, but also that's just reading people's names. You don't have to do that. But then when you're reading about card types, it's like, am I reading fucking Yu-Gi-Oh?
It's just like it's literally like you're reading like a text, like you're like you're like cramming for a test last minute, and you're just reading information that has nothing to do. You're gonna do nothing with this information. It means nothing. You're just jamming words into your head for no reason.
Did they have like a theme around them, like tarot cards or something?
No,
they quite literally get transported into a game where its system is cards. That is the arc.
Okay,
it's a good arc. Like it's, from what I remember, it introduces a lot, does a lot, and sets up the next arc really well. But as far as explanations go, Hunter, why did you write that? Like little Jump is for kids. Gon and Killia are like the youngest kids I think I've ever seen in a shonen manga, and you got 6 pages of just card information. Anyways, Hunter is great. I'm hoping to be caught up soon. Hopefully, got a long trip, and I'm just focusing on it so that like I'm gonna hold off on probably Robocco for a little bit unless I need a break from Hunter. That's my next stop. Other than that, just Hunter until I'm caught up, which I just remembered, which is 400 chapters. Like, this will be a long slog.
I'm so happy that you started this before me, because every time you tell me about your journey with Hunter, it just cements the idea that I should watch the anime instead.
Yeah, I like the anime when I watched it as a kid is excellent. Like, it's still like, I think it's like about 280 chapters, or I think it's at least 300 chapters or so up to Chimera and Arc. Yeah, it's got to be.
The anime is like 100,
and that's 100 episodes right there. So like, it's give and take. It's definitely give and take. I think some arcs go faster than others. There's moments where it's like his art literally will change. Like there was actually a moment in the chapter I just finished where his art's super duper detailed, and the next it's literally just like a child's drawing. like literally like there's been instances where he's done that on the same page where it's like he's got this super detailed panel, so fucking badass, and then in the same like literally same size panel right next to it is the derpiest panel I've ever seen in my life. Like Hunter x Hunter is an experience and a half. Definitely worth it though, and I'm excited to be caught up, and I've only heard better things as it goes on, so I'm excited. Because York New is only 100 chapters in. It's fucking literally like one of the best things I've ever read. Hands down.
All right.
Anyways, speaking of one of the best things I've ever read, Blue Box.
Blue Box. This
was
they've been coming.
The timing for that was just so terrific.
You're fine. It was perfectly timed, babe. Good job.
That was good.
So,
You're good.
No, the peaks of Blue Box have always been its romance, but this whole arc that Taiki's had with this Batman game has been so great. It's week after week, it just keeps on getting better and better, and like it's already at the end of the climax. Like the game's over. Taiki finally got a W,
dude, and like not just like a minor, like a minor
not just
W.
any W, like the guy that they've been focusing on.
Oh
for,
yeah, like
chapters,
the guy,
like
the guy his senpai struggled against in nationals. Taiki beat him, and not just by like a small, like he fucking like he was keeping up with him solid, and then won. Yeah. Which also his art for the sports panels is terrific. Like
so good.
It looks so good. Like I like his art is a little more like really kind of like sketchy. Like it has rougher lines, and it really lends itself for these art panel or for these sports panels. And man, the satisfaction of seeing Taiki sit there and just go, I won. Like holy shit. Like what a character payoff. Like holy shit. That
and then
really...
Chinatsu came by, goated character came by and like even congratulated him and stuff.
Yeah. Well, they had a cute moment. Which is awesome.
Come on, Hina, pick up the pace. You gotta be the one to walk over and come.
No, which was crazy, and I thought for a second that because she's like, her friend goes, are you gonna go congratulate him? And then she just walks away, and obviously does not go and congratulate him. So she just like up and was like,
I could see her going and I could see her doing it next chapter, and then Chinatsu's already there.
Yeah. Oh, that too. Yeah. Them sitting there drinking some Pocari, getting to fans now. That's real water.
Real water.
Yeah.
Man, it feels like it's been a long time since we heard from Bo. So
I'm here. I'm listening.
No, I know.
It's been a lot of the stuff Bo reads out of the magazine this week, and it's just that.
Yeah, it's ranking stuff. That stuff's ranking high this week though. Normally it's like more in the middle, but.
But is there anything else you guys want to say about Blue Box? Because I think you guys covered pretty much everything I had to say.
Yeah, it's
cute. I really enjoyed the chapter. It was so hype, and it was really a cute moment with Chinatsu.
Yeah, there is one thing. Something I really liked was the paneling for the end of the game. There's this moment where you saw Taiki, and then he was just finishing a swing, and then you go over, and it's his opponent. And then it's him standing there with the Batman hitting the ground. So it's so then it felt like, I don't know. To me, that was like really cool. Just seeing the moment that the game ended.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like whenever because I used to play tennis, and that moment at the end of a game, the manga captured that moment at the end of like a really long, strenuous match really well.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God it's over. And I'm triumphant, or damn, I just lost.
Yeah,
so,
it was done.
It was really awesome.
It was awesome, for sure.
So he's better at writing the sports side of his sports manga.
He's amazing at both. He's been, which is like I always made fun of Blue Box. It's the romance. It's the sports romance without sports. And now it's like, oh yeah, here's all the sports.
Sports really well.
Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's jump into talking about these punches.
No spoilers. No spoilers. If I'm gonna leave for a second, if I'm not back, just go ahead and do Sakamoto.
Okay.
I'll be back.
For sure.
Have fun.
All right.
Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen. Trent, you were excited about this one. jump in.
I want to say whenever I was saying my favorite chapter,
Dude,
I completely forgot Blue Box.
Sorry, I
Blue
think
Box
both
was
hit
for
his
sure my
knee
favorite chapter.
on his way out.
Slammed into the desk.
But yeah, just more fighting. I liked the moment where they said Hikari is extremely lucky
Yeah.
because he did his domain expansion and he got it. I think what's funny is every time I say domain expansion now, talking about this fight, I always do the hand sign he does for it.
Yeah.
I can't stop myself. It's just instinctual. I just do it. So
That's Jujutsu Kaisen brain rot, man. There it is right there.
No, he's got manga brain rot. That's what he's got.
Manga
Oh, yeah.
brain rot.
You even
Literally.
mentioned that in the series.
He's just like us for real, dude.
Yeah, manga brain.
I like the panel of his like intestines like wrapping themselves back.
Oh,
up
that
and,
was
like,
cool. That was really cool.
Yeah. When that gets animated, dude.
This fight in the anime is going to be like 10 times better.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I hope they just cut out the whole manga artist fight. It doesn't need it.
It
They-
doesn't.
they- it doesn't. I would be surprised that if they would. But yeah.
Because
no,
I don't know, like I really don't see it existing because I feel like the purpose of that fight was to introduce his like
his
ability.
power. Yeah.
but then they could
this
just
fight
do
did
that
it
in
better.
this fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this fight's better anyway, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Also, that fight didn't really end. I feel like he ended that fight prematurely because he knew it sucked.
Yeah.
Like it,
Yeah.
because there wasn't like it didn't have like a big moment to
No.
end the fight. It kind of just ended.
Meanwhile, this
Um,
fight has had like 3 or 5 different big moments, like where you think it's the end, but it's just not the end.
Yeah. It's been
Right,
it's been really solid. I think they'll keep it in because if I remember correctly, it started by her fighting Panda.
Yeah,
And
true,
then,
true.
so they'll probably kind of keep that way.
Right.
But no, like I find it really good. It's definitely, I don't know. Sometimes maybe it's just because Jujutsu Kaisen manga brain, it just be going really weird pacing. I get confused, but we'll see. I feel like they keep leaving it. Like I got a little frustrated because they keep like, he's good. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's good.
I think that's part
now
of
he's exploded in chlorine gas. Poof. I'm like,
Chlorine gas.
I think I would have been more upset if that was a character like Itadori or Fujiguro. But I think it makes sense for his power and his whole thing being that he's invincible essentially. So
and he's just insanely lucky.
I do
he does say that
find
he's
it
really
annoying. I do find it's getting stale, but I think I would have been more upset if it was Itadori. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
For sure. For sure.
And then I wanted to just put in my little bit. Whenever there's electricity in the water, they bring up electrolysis. In high school, I failed a test in chemistry about electrolysis, so I got flashbacks to high school reading this chapter. But it was kind of cool knowing the science behind the fight that they're having.
That's cool.
Yeah,
No,
but-
it's cool for sure.
It's gonna fly over the heads of a lot of Western viewers, but for people like Trent or the average Japanese student, it's gonna be like, oh shit, we learned this in class the other day.
Yeah, if you take the AP Chem exam, you might know what this is about. But
Yeah.
if you're like me, you might also fail the AP Chem exam. So,
Yeah.
Overall, JJK for me is still kind of in that weird state where I don't think I'm enjoying it as much as like when it first started, or Shibuya
or even the
arc,
Shibuya arc.
Oh,
yeah, it's definitely not the Shibuya arc, even though that
no.
Calling Games was set up to be this really massive arc, super, super exciting and all that. But so far, it's just been kind of for me, Hopefully, it gets better as time goes on. Maybe when we start focusing on the core casts again, it will. Right now, I don't even really remember what these two characters' deal is, so yeah.
We'll see.
I agree.
We'll see.
Yeah, My Hero time?
It's
Yep.
My Hero
It's-
hour.
Yeah.
Come on, Bo.
Hello.
Do you know what time it is?
It's time for the Trent and
Trent
Bo
and Bo Power Hour.
Power hour.
My Hero Power Hour.
All right. We'll be seeing you guys on the other side. Good luck.
Woo. All right, Trent.
I
What do you
was
think?
wrong last week. Well, I was just wanted to say that I was wrong last week. The fight's not over.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna go for at least another chapter or two.
Yeah. So, damn, I was
Um,
big wrong about that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. My takeaway from this chapter is the art just keeps going harder and harder. It feels like. um, but yeah, I mean the at the end seeing All for One's eyes and like he's like disintegrating. Bro, that shit's messed up.
Awesome panel.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just more of the fight though.
Also, so when I think it was the first episode of the podcast, you asked, did Endeavor lose his arm? Did he lose his arm? Because there's
I'm flipping
panel.
through it right now.
Do you know what panel I'm talking about? Where it looks like he
Yeah.
was punching, but it looked like it might be that his arm's just in the fire, so you can't see it. But at the same time, it looked like he just straight up didn't have an arm.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because like, well, especially because like the art's so like gritty right now. Oh no. Yeah,
like,
I see
his
this
arm's
panel.
gone. Yeah.
But also, it looks like he's using it to punch, though. Is he just using? Is he like forming fire out of like his stump?
That's what I was like. That's what I was thinking. Like, is he using his nub to
I think he lost an arm. Yeah, because in that panel they're saying wounded heroes are always the scariest. So that'd be the time to say that. So yeah, I guess he did lose an arm. It was hard to tell. I wish they had made it more obvious.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And
that's something. This harkens back to something I saw a long time ago, where Kohei Horikoshi said that a lot of readers find his fights hard to follow, and that whenever they were talking about an anime, he specifically told the anime directors, like, make the fights super easy to follow. Yeah, so like that the anime is better than the manga, which I agreed. Like, the what was his name? Overhaul, the bird mask guy.
Yeah,
his fight in the manga, super confusing fight. I need
to watch.
Make any sense.
I need to watch that animated because I remember reading it. I binged it because I wasn't caught up at the time, and I remember thinking like, man, this wasn't. I didn't love it, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
I really like the overhaul arc. Like, it's my favorite arc in the whole show.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
But that fight was super confusing, and then seeing it in the anime was just like super solidifying that was my favorite arc because it was an awesome fight.
What season is that? Season 4? Season 5?
4.
4.
Yeah,
I watched through season 3, and then I just went to the manga.
Okay. Yeah.
So what do you think's going on at the end here? So All for One's talking, and they show a panel of, I forget her name, the little girl. Is it Eri? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Is he using her power or something? What's going on with her? Why is she there?
I'm not sure. I was confused about that because it almost made me feel like he was talking about like taking Endeavor's quirk away, using Eri's like bullet thing. Like that they made with Overhaul, but it feels weird for him to do that because his quirk already takes people's quirks away. So why would he need a bullet to do it?
Yeah, I don't know the way it's sung because like he's saying, "Did you really think I'd actually saunter up to the big finale empty-handed?" And then it shows her, so it makes me feel like, does he like? She's safe right now. She's not like out in the zone, is she? Right?
No, she should be safe at the UA, but maybe he did something to Eri. But actually, that doesn't make sense because Eri was with Overhaul. She was never with the League of Villains very much.
You're right. Yeah,
so
I don't know.
Weird.
Obviously, she's gonna come into play. People have been waiting for like her because she hasn't really done much since that arc. She's gonna be important.
Since that arc, it was very clear that Eri would be important at some point.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see probably next week, maybe. But at the end, we see Midoriya, and is he flying towards All for One, or is that something different? Because we see like the black speck.
He's flying towards Shigaraki.
Okay.
Because their whole plan with Shigaraki was to have people that could fly, and since he has the float ability from one of the people, he was a part of that fight. So
okay.
But he teleported to the wrong fight. He teleported to the fight with Ochiko in the
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he's on his way there.
Okay.
But it's hard to keep track because I know you're not caught up with Jujutsu Kaisen, but both My Hero and Jujutsu Kaisen are kind of all over the place right now with what they're doing.
Well, especially because like I think it's been like 7 chapters since we really saw anything of Deku. Like it's been a while.
No, it's been a while.
Because we had the Todoroki fight, and then we had the Endeavor fight. So it's been a minute, and then we had the Ochako fight also in there somewhere at my point. I think a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see him in action again. Also, I'm just looking through the panels while we're talking. There's the shot of Endeavor literally using like fire lasers out of his eyes. That's fucking awesome.
No, that was awesome.
But yeah, really solid chapter overall. Fight's not over. I'm excited to see what this new All for One form does, what he can do.
Whatever is going
to happen, yeah. But did you have any other thoughts?
No. I think we're good to go on to Sakamoto Days and bring the boys back in.
All right, summon them in. And then I need to dip again also because I don't want spoilers on that. All right, Sakamoto Days. Let me know when I come back. I want spoilers.
Of course, of course.
Another awesome chapter.
Oh man, it's been. I feel like I don't think there's such a thing as a bad Sakamoto Days chapter. I think I've kind of realized that.
The amusement park arc was kind of boring.
Yeah. But not inherently bad.
No recent chapters.
Oh,
have been
far
bad,
from it.
or even mediocre.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. I still can't get over Sakamoto running down the hallway and beating the shit out of these kids with dressed as his wife. The one I can't get over is grabbing the dude with the vacuum cleaner, dragging him across the wall.
Dragging him across the wall. That was awesome.
Like,
Sakamoto's like the way they have him beat people up is so like clever.
It's so funny. Like, oh, it's awesome. It's
it would translate to an anime very, very well.
Oh,
I think
it'd be hilarious.
Very,
like, no, still one of my favorite moments. Sakamoto fighting people is slamming the passport into the dude's face and stamping his face with the passport. Amazing. But yeah, no.
I don't have a ton to say about Sakamoto this week because it was a very action-oriented chapter.
I will say, so there was X's all over the dorms. That slurs like
calling card. Yeah.
So like, I know Slur's plan was to recruit assassins from the JCC, so maybe we're starting to see Slur's influence inside of the JCC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So because it was like literally all over the dorm, like it looked like a Slur hideout almost.
Yeah.
So it's super interesting.
Well, and then
they immediately fought Sakamoto as well.
Yeah. The other thing was when we talked to the invisible guy, he goes like, oh, like I wasn't really like I wasn't with them. I was just a hire. Like, so they also probably do that a bunch. Like that's probably also a thing. It's just like a hired assassin. So I
makes sense. They're assassins.
Yeah.
So I think that the JCC itself is interesting as like a building or corporation because it's supposed to be like a school for assassins, right?
Yeah.
But in order to get your lunch, you have to actually shoot a bullet.
Yeah, I thought that was
hilarious. I thought it was so
that was
clever
funny.
and so funny. Steak dinner, you have to have
Invisible
really good aim.
Invisible dude cheating, just going invisible and then shooting like point blank.
I thought that was so clever and so fun. I hope we get to see more stuff like that actually happen.
I think
the world building in Sakamoto Days is so cool because there's just
awesome.
Random shit that they show off every once in a while.
Yeah, like the video store that like sells information, but it's like DVDs that are
I
super
forgot about that. That's
stupid
amazing.
expensive.
It's so cool.
It is really, really cool.
Yeah, they do an excellent job of world building. Such great characters. I love Sakamoto Days. It's a joy to read. I mean, I guess outside of that, there's not really too much to talk about for that chapter.
Because it is again an action-oriented.
It was very
action
chapter.
About, like,
it just fucking
how cool the fight was.
Was awesome. That's about it.
Sakamoto Days stays winning, dude.
Yeah. No, if we'll start talking about it now. We'll start summoning it. That's definitely the next one to get an anime. There might be another one that comes before it.
The only thing that I could see getting an anime before it is Yozakura family.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't see anyone talking about that. So like maybe.
Maybe
Yozakura family goes a couple long.
Mashelle sits a little bit lower. I like it, but I don't know. I just still don't hear as much about it. We'll see for sure.
Yeah.
But definitely Sakamoto is a shoe-in for an anime. It's just a matter of when. It's
sure.
not like if, it's when.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
although I am with Trent on that Yozakura family, I think I'd like to see that get an animation.
I would love
well.
a Yozakura family anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also weird thing about Yozakura is I just don't associate them very well with their hair colors because you never see it in color, and then the anime would really like change that for me.
I know Mitsumi, the main girl. I can never remember that her hair's blue. I always think it's black with a white stripe, but it's blue with a white stripe.
I'm the same way, but with Tayo, and I always think it's black, and then I see it in a color page, and I'm like, who's that? Who's that character?
Who's got red hair?
Also, are we done talking about Sakamoto? Because like some in
we're done for sure. Quick one.
But on that note about
I've been
going back
summoned.
to Yozakura. Best girl is definitely Shion. Just saying. Girl.
The character rankings would agree with you.
Yeah. Apparently so.
No, actually, that brings up the character rankings. Kenya is his name, the yellow-haired like cat boy.
Yeah.
He's He's ranked 3rd
which is crazy.
on the character
That's
rankings,
wild.
which is crazy. He's never in the story. Like, and I feel like his moments aren't even that strong.
No.
Like,
but you know, he's
it's
there.
crazy.
He's there. Yeah.
I mean, he's like, I don't dislike him. It's just I don't see him as top 3 material.
Yeah, maybe that's why Yozakura won't get an anime, because its fans are just don't know how to vote for the right characters.
Also, I did think it was funny that Shion was first.
Yeah.
Because it's like I feel like Yozakura does lend itself towards kind of like some degenerate kind of people.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll accept it.
Shion being first. No, I love Shion. She is best girl. Like, you're correct about that. But her being first place in like with how much action.
Character rankings overall, yeah. No, that's a little ridiculous.
So it's just funny that a bunch of these guys are like, man, my gamer girl queen.
But yeah, no, enough about that. We passed Sakamoto forever ago in this episode. I don't know why we got such a deep discussion about it again. But overall, the magazine, what do you guys think, guys? Solid week?
Not as good as
Really
last
solid.
week, but
Definitely.
really
It was
solid.
okay.
Yeah,
solid
no, it's definitely like that's really hard to come off the heels of last week, but everything had great chapters. I think a lot of the series that we wouldn't expect to have great chapters had really good chapters, especially like Earthchild being like, it was hard to pick a favorite chapter this week, but Earthchild was really stand out. Elusive Samurai, Witch Watch,
Blue Box.
Yeah, Blue Box. Like there was a lot of mines that were pretty stand out this week, which was great as well.
I don't mean to put everybody on the spot right now, but I forgot about it until just a second. Did anybody read the Road to spoiler for One Piece thing?
No, I didn't get to. Because I didn't see it translated.
Is that a thing that's out yet?
Yeah, that was in this week's issue.
TCB scans. It's all translated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to be in the app, I don't think. It's just a bunch of information.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I think I'll read it.
Yeah, I'll probably check it out. Was it worth reading, I guess? Did you?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I just remembered it because I remember I was thinking, I was like, I said I was going to read this last week and we were going to talk about it in the absence of One Piece. And I didn't read it. But I didn't see anybody talking about it, so I'm assuming there's nothing too crucial in there.
I wouldn't imagine. I wouldn't imagine that he would. Oda normally doesn't try to put crucial information. That's why none of the One Piece
I think it's mostly like
movies
scrapped chapter concepts and character drawings and stuff.
Just
I don't
more
know what else
information.
but
I was talking to one of my friends. He said there's like some hints towards other stuff. I don't know exactly what he was talking about. I'm also just looking at it right now. Apparently, the road poneglyphs were originally called load poneglyphs, which is just kind of interesting because of Lodestar and all that. But
I feel like the anime calls it that sometimes.
Do they? I don't know. I haven't seen the anime. So,
I
don't know.
But
that's what I mentioned it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What other news has happened this week? I feel like there was a lot.
I mean,
I'm gonna go to the Twitter to see.
This fall, I'm just bringing it in with the Love Is War news. Obviously, season 3 ended. We did get a leak. This isn't confirmed, but that we did get a estimate for when the manga is ending, and that will be in 14 chapters. Chapter 281.
Is that a weekly?
It is a weekly release.
Weekly?
Yeah,
okay,
so it'll be
14 weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, with the anime ending, it's there's never a better time to jump in. There's so much to read, especially if you want to see it before it ends. And also the anime, if you haven't seen it, amazing.
Oh, the anime is amazing.
That last episode, dude, was phenomenal.
Oh, the whole season 3 was terrific. I was so happy with how they done it. And
every season gets better and better.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome.
Real quick, this isn't exactly news, but my Bleach box, the one that got me into anime, dude, got signed by the voice of Ichigo himself.
Hell yeah.
Oh wow.
So
That's
fucking
amazing.
cool.
So happy.
I just spent $40 to get his signature, but
That's sick.
It's worth it.
We're absolutely worth it.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, there wasn't really much news this week, was
No,
there?
I think last week it just went
also,
absolutely crazy.
a little bit of an exclusive too. I got to talk to him about the Bleach anime coming back and if he's involved at all. So far, he says he hasn't done anything, but he's already in talks with Kubo himself and also like the people that are in charge of the anime. Right? It's super cool.
That's
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the unofficial WSJ manga Twitter. Apparently, it looks like Bleach: The 1,000-Year Blood Work is gonna get some information next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Oh.
at Anime Expo. We're gonna be getting trailers.
Okay.
Next week,
Doesn't Chainsaw Man also have something?
everything's like
Yeah.
there's a Mob Psycho season 3 information, Chainsaw Man, Bleach. There's gonna be a lot of stuff happening at Anime Expo, so next week will be a big one for a lot of
For
things.
sure.
Mashelle next week's issue would be the one where Mashelle was absolutely confirmed in the magazine. But I think it was the volume 12 came out, and that's how we knew for sure it was getting a TV.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what I remember reading. Because it was like an added bonus to one of the volumes.
I think they also said we'll see it next issue.
Yeah, because 31
Mashelle will
Mashelle's
have lead
lead
cover.
Yeah. So we'll see a celebration.
I
I
think
think
that color.
I'm absolutely sure that next week will probably be a really, really good chapter of Mashelle. I'm very
To tie it
excited.
in, for sure.
Are you gonna be able to like record for next week? Because I know you're gonna be in Chicago, Aiden.
We will. I have a plan for that already, but we can talk about that after. No, I don't think anything super crazy for news other than that. Not off the top of my noggin.
Dr. Stone next
keep
week.
up
I'm
with-
waiting for.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trent. Sorry, I cut you off.
I was just saying you guys keep up with the news more than I do. So
Yeah.
if anyone knows anything, it's you guys.
Yeah. Overall, nothing too crazy that I'm saying that I'd like to personally talk about, but manga releases. Thus spoke Kashibi Rohan gets a physical release. Doro is that?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
What are you guys talking about?
Don. I was gonna say,
Don.
I was gonna say, this is my chance to shoehorn Don into this episode. Don, it's fucking amazing. Read it. It's one of the best anime or manga on Jump Plus right now. It's terrific.
How many chapters are there? I haven't.
It's
Into it.
60 something.
60.
It's
They're like,
Are they longer? Yeah, I was gonna say.
it started out longer and then it ended up just being weekly, so it's at 23, 24 pages a chapter.
Cool.
It's
okay.
Amazing art, really cool story, excellent characters. It's fucking awesome. I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. So, Bo?
Well, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching this week's episode of the Manga Panel Podcast. We don't really do all the social media is down below.
Yeah,
Just
you can
go
find
check
us
all
down
that.
below. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good.
We'll see you guys in issue 31 with Mashelle lead color pages.
Yes,
Until then,
sir.
see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.